Hi everyone, just checking if you can hear me. Okay, great. Uh, I will give it 3 more minutes and then I will explain um, what's what's all this about the writing kit. Um, I will turn off the camera at some point just to make sure the audio and the internet connection goes well. Besides, as you can see, um, the my room is not very well lit, so I'm basically using a flashlight and another lamp apart from the light on the ceiling, so there's no point. So I'll be back in 2-3 minutes. Okay, everyone. Just realized I was talking without having enabled my microphone. So thank you for joining me on a Saturday afternoon. I'm Loredana. I'm an English teacher at school number 17 Botoșani in Romania. And as you can see on my tiny trading card that I put on the first slide, I've been an eTwinner since 2010. But I've been working on Comenius and Socrates projects way before that. And today I want to share with you a creative writing kit that all 5 partners in the Erasmus and eTwinning project called Learning Differently have created. The project is in its 2nd year, so we are still adding more and more trading cards and more things to play with and write with. So I will just checking if you can see the slide. If you can see the slides. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Good. Now this is the twin space, and I added a bit of a fun QR code. I will share the link in the chat so you know how to, hello everyone, so you know where to go to create something like this, and it's free. And if you have a project, you can include the logo of your project in the middle. So basically this project aims at increasing students' motivation to read and to express themselves and their linguistic skills as well. But we have included all school subjects in the project because it is important for kids to know how to understand a science text as well. And these are the partners. So it's just 5 of us, but we work really well together. And this is what I was talking about. So students worked either individually or in teams. It depends on their preference. And they chose places, people, and recipes from these 5 countries. But we are now adding places, people, and recipes from any other countries they prefer. We want to extend the kit. And we are also adding heroes, characters from films, gadgets, whatever they want, they can turn into a trading card. And the site for doing this is this one. I think I'm sorry. Yeah. But how they get to do it is they have to synthesize the information. You know, when you ask your students to present something, oftentimes they will go and copy paste from Wikipedia or from wherever they find. And that's not okay because it doesn't actually teach them anything. So what they have to do is just come up with a few lines for every person or recipe or topic, whatever topic they have chosen, and a picture. And that's all they have to do. And then they can download the trading card. And I have used the funky, sorry, I'm trying to type at the same time, to create collages because it enhances the resolution. If you want to print the cards, the way you download them from big huge labs, it might be a bit of a problem because the resolution may not be that good and the text might not be that clear. So you can include, I actually recommend that you include science, so scientists or discoveries, or they can even create trading cards about historical events. There's absolutely no limit to what they can present using a trading card. these are, for example, some of the stories that were written. The words you see, in italic and bold are the ones they were supposed to use. So this one is a Romanian personality, is a Romanian sculptor, and he had to. I'm not particularly sure. I don't know all the recipes by heart, but all I can tell you is that I think there were 3 different countries, and the magic word you can give them, or they can choose a random word and give it to another team. In this case, it was Kinder Bueno, which was not invented, which was not there when this sculpture was alive, so it was all the more fun. These were 5th graders, so they wrote it in Romanian and in English. The story can be as long as you want it to be. If you are dealing with a bit older students, then you can ask them to investigate a bit more. For example, let's say in this one was written by our Lithuanian partners, and it's a bit longer. And as you can see, from the level of English was a bit higher. And this was a very colorful one, created by our Polish partners. So they can be very short, they can be really long. This, for example, is these stories were created by 6th graders, and there is one. I don't know if I put it here. No, there is one about Marie Curie, and the student had to do a bit of research. Of course, sometimes it's a bit a bit difficult for them if they're 5th graders or 6th graders to understand what that research is about. So you have to help them a bit understand if that's your area. Or they can just produce the story with the level of understanding they have. And the magic word usually is the fun part, because when I choose the magic word, for example, I look at the personality. If, for example, they have a 14th century astronomer, I will use something that was not then, that did not exist at that time. For example, I don't know, a laptop. And they have to find a way to introduce that into the story. And then they can go around, read other people's stories, and comment or ask questions. For example, let's take the example of this Casimir the Great and the cooking show. The author, the girl, does not specify what time it was. Was it, I don't know, particular month, for example, or what television was filming the show. And the other teams or the other kids can help the ones that wrote the story enrich it and, include all those details that you'd want to know if you read the story. The next slide is showing some examples of them working in class. And how this works is that they do not get to choose which cards to use. All they have to do is just randomly pick a card from each category. I have them printed. I think I've shared the link to the document in the eTwinning event, where you can download the trading cards and you can print them, just cut them and use them as regular cards. So you have a category for personalities, one for places, and one for recipes. And I will be adding pages to that document. And they randomly draw cards, one for each category. If, for example, they get a Romanian recipe and a Romanian personality, then we switch, we change one of them, because it's, it makes things more fun to have a Croatian place, a Lithuanian recipe, and a Romanian personality, for example. And what I want to ask you now is to choose one of these 4 links, since there is no way for me to physically ask you to draw a card. I have created 4 documents, and you have there one trading card for each category and a magic word. So what I want you to ask is to choose any of these 4 links and go, and I think in about 15 minutes you can come up in groups or in pairs. I see there are 20 people. Maybe not all of them will be able to work on this, but it's quite fine. So you can go now and start writing a short story, including the 3 trading cards that you have there. And I will upload the stories that you've created here, so everybody can see them. And I will also upload them in the forum in case you want to use them. So good luck, and you can start writing now. Let me know if you can access the links. I have shared the documents so that anyone with a link can edit, so there should not be any problems. Just pick a color and start writing. And I would have wanted to use a different tool, but it didn't allow me to upload pictures. And I will share with you how I use QR codes with these stories, and also how I use a virtual museum to display the stories that were written. Hi. So is everyone clear? Did you understand the task for the next 10-15 minutes? Yeah, I see people have already joined the documents. Great. Okay, Valbona, do you need me to copy the links in the chat, or there's a problem with Google? I will copy the links just in case people have a problem entering. Okay, I will check if there's a problem. Neither of the links. Okay. Okay, let's check. But I see people have already joined the documents. Can I get a confirmation from someone who is not on their phone, who is on their laptop, if it works, if the Google Docs work? Hello, Daniela. Okay. Anyone who's on their phone, has anyone managed to access the links? I can do something else. If you're on your phone and you cannot access any of the links, I will do this. I will go back to the cards, and you can choose. I've got recipes and people. So if you are on your phone, I will leave this slide, and you can pick one of these 4 personalities and one of these 4 recipes. and you write a tiny story on your phone. And I can, let's see. And then you can post, you just write the story, you can write the story in the chat. If you are on your phone and you cannot, or if you want to, if you think you can have a story in about 10 minutes, I will give you the microphone and you can tell us the story. I have posted the link to the trading cards in the chat. Or you can choose from there. Hello, Asta. So nice to see you. I will turn off the camera and the microphone for a few minutes. Somebody raised their hand. Do you want to talk? Do you want me to give you the microphone? Faidullah, your microphone is enabled if you want to speak, if you have something to say. Hello, so for those who have joined late, there are a few links in the chat. You can enter whichever of them you want and uh, work collaboratively with the other people there on a story, short story. You can just have a few paragraphs um, and create a short story involving the three uh, things you have in that document: a personality, a recipe, and a place, all from different countries, and a magic word. Or if you want to work individually, like I said, if you don't feel like writing, but you want to say the story, you can do that. I will enable you as a presenter, and you can present your story. Just let me know. Faidullah, the project is an Erasmus Plus project, and the eTwinning project is adjacent to it. We will definitely add more partners to the project, to the eTwinning project, when the Erasmus project ends, because otherwise it's difficult for the agency to see what we've done as opposed to what other people who are not in our Erasmus project have done. But once the project is concludes, which is in August, we will open it to more people, and you can test our methods and the tools we have created with the students and the parents, and also the writing kits and all the materials and the ideas that we've come up with. We would actually really like to test our methods. Nice to meet you, Sana. I see somebody is writing in one of the documents about um, a Croatian dish. Adding it as a magic word. Thank you. I have not heard of Strukli. So thank you very much. Oh, Strukli. Okay. Okay. When you write in one of the documents, I would like you to, when you finish your paragraph or whatever your sentence is, please write your name and the country between brackets so we know who wrote what, in case you need it at some point. I don't know. Maybe you need it as proof that you attended the event. I'm just saying. Hi, Sana. You have to join one of the groups. You have to click on one of the links that is up there in the chat, or I can go to the last page. Right, this one. And you have to work with the other people who have joined that document to create a very short story involving all the three things I posted there. I posted a picture of a personality and a small description, a place and a recipe, and a magic word. And you have to combine those and come up with a story in groups. Or if you are on your phone and that's proving to be difficult, you can just use the Jumag link that's up there and have a look at the I will copy it again and have the look at the trading cards and pick from there. And oh, sorry, I was trying to paste something else. It didn't work. The last link, you have all the trading cards. There are about 20 pages, and you have 4 trading cards per page. Hi, Aman. Hello, Swat. Thank you for joining. I know it's Saturday afternoon. That's quite okay. I will post the links in the chat, in the forum, in the event. I will check the document. Yes, thank you, Anka. Nice way of using Tesla. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, to include the personality, but you said a Tesla car. That's great. Quite creative. Oh, I love your story, Maria. By the way, you can all access the stories. You can all access the links, so it's quite okay. If you want to continue writing on them, that's quite fine. I will not close the documents. I will keep them as they are because I know sometimes you just, don't have so many ideas. Thank you, Daniela, for the Copernicus Center story. Let's see if I can share some more stories written by the students. Another idea, but I only have a few pictures on my phone because the activity happened yesterday, was that our Lithuanian partners and our coordinator is online right now in this webinar. The students created their heroes out of clay. So she sent me the pictures, and I looked at the photos with my students, and we had no idea who these heroes were. So we decided to work in groups and pick one of the heroes and invent a story about him and a personality. And two groups actually chose the same hero, but for one, it was a hero fighting injustice who ended up in prison. He was Italian but spoke English with a French accent. And after a year in jail, he managed to dig a tunnel using a yogurt spoon and continued his journey of fighting evil and injustice. And the same character was a tooth in another story, trying to convince the owner to give up eating junk food. So they have had so many ideas. You can do that. You can have one of your class design something, their favorite character, maybe their favorite, maybe a hero, maybe a personality, or an item if they like working with their hands. And you can ask another class to use those objects to create stories. Oh, thank you for adding the picture. We will actually meet in Croatia in March. I do not eat this, I'm a vegan, but I'm pretty sure my partners will be delighted to know about Strukli. So thank you, Mario. I will show my students what you wrote about slime magically transforming itself into a wonderful dish. And I think I will actually ask them to write a story about that, starting with, so the slime magically turns itself into the most wonderful dish ever, every time a child wishes it, and they can continue it. That's a beautiful idea. Thank you, Daniela. Yes, you can use them and write stories with your students. We love the idea of sharing what we come up with. And there are so many learning tools that our students and parents developed. Um, and we will definitely organize a few more webinars where we can present some more tools and some methods, and ask for your feedback, ask for you to test them, because if it works in more schools, then it's all the better, because we can improve, we can increase students' motivation. We're actually, Mario, we're coming near Zagreb. We're going in Donja Pušća. So quite close, 20, 30 kilometers. I have shared a link to a art step museum, and you can access it. I will also put it in the forum, in the learning event, in the Twinning event. Um, uh, Hi, Carmen. And you can put your students' works in that virtual museum. It's free. I think you get to upload. I don't remember exactly. Probably around 30 or something pictures, and it actually looks like a museum, and you can walk around and you can add descriptions, and the pictures can be clicked, and there are more details about that particular picture. And if you want to include, if you want to turn the stories into a treasure hunt or into QR codes, you can do that as long as as long as your text is not very long, because as you know, a QR code can only contain so much information. You're welcome, Eman. And you can put those QR codes in the classroom, and if the texts are short, if the stories are short, um, the students can access the QR codes in the breaks, and it makes things fun because they don't know what's there. You can change the QR codes, place them somewhere else, replace the QR codes, or you hand them a story and then place QR codes with questions about the story through your school and make it into a treasure hunt. If, for example, they have a personality in that story, a scientist, you can include STEM questions. They really love treasure hunts. And there are also students who like to draw the trading cards and not create them online, because they like drawing and they like writing their own, handwriting all the information, and you should let them do that because they love it, and I don't know, they prefer that. And their trading cards end up being so cute because the pictures, the drawings are absolutely wonderful. And each student can create according to their level. If it's just 2-3 sentences, that's enough. They can use those trading cards to introduce themselves, or to introduce something that they're passionate about, like a hobby. And if you print them, you can have an entire set of cards. Yes, Swad, do you want to use the microphone? Yes, Carmen, I will post all the material on the forum. All the links and the materials. Thank you. This particular recipe seems to work if you're on a keto diet, I think. Yes, this is for keto diets, I think. I've been wanting to try this, so I will definitely try the cauliflower mac and cheese. Thank you, Carmen. I will let you know after I taste it. I will actually send the name to our Croatian partner and make sure there's a place around there that serves it. Yes, cauliflower is basically used to replace rice or potatoes in the keto diet. It's a diet where you have removed all the starch and no flour, no sugar. So It sounds really good. I haven't tried it, but I'm looking forward to it. Uh, we're coming near Zagreb, so Donja Pušća, it's 20, 30 kilometers away from Zagreb, so quite near there. So it's going to be fun. I will check and see how the stories are going. I see nobody else is typing in the documents. That's quite fine. I know it's Saturday evening and you have plenty of time to use those if you want to, if you find them useful. And have fun using the trading cards in your classes or using the idea. It doesn't have to be these trading cards. You can create your own. And I know somebody said they're a kindergarten teacher, a preschool teacher. Valbono is a preschool teacher. So you can adjust them. Okay, Mario, writing it. Thank you for the story. So Mario, that's the place we're going. If you want to make it even more fun, you can include two personalities from different centuries and a place and a recipe, because they then have to find a coherent way of having those two characters meet. For example, a 14th century, I don't know, king and a 19th century astronomer, for example. Thank you, Azita. So just challenge your students because they love being challenged, and they love the fact that they don't have to tell the truth in those stories, that they have to invent and use their imagination. So we've had pancakes that built a Polish pancakes, sorry, that built a bionic hand made of Nutella to avoid being eaten by some, I don't know, I think Bulgarian personality. We've had all sorts of strange stories that are very funny to read. We've had Pikachu in one of those stories visiting the Diocletian Palace. He was accompanied by a Romanian biologist, I think. We've also had a legend about how banana spots, the brown spots on bananas came to be, and it involved 4 out of the 5 countries in the project, and also some dinosaurs, some parallel universe. So it's really fun for the students. So I would like to thank everybody for coming. I will stop the recording now.